Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Tellor community call, August 3rd. Oh man, already in August. Wait, did we miss? I think we missed Tellor's birthday.
No, because it probably is today, because August 1st,
I think it was
remember
August
we
1st.
deployed it and it kind of like had to get redeployed. So it was really August 3rd and we were like so upset because we wanted it to be the first.
We'll have to look back and
It's
see.
probably today.
The first transaction. Yeah, so happy birthday, Tellor. It's 2 years old. Yeah, maybe tomorrow we can throw Tellor a birthday party in the office. Tally can bring a babka and we'll all be good.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, so for those that don't know, Tellor has been live on mainnet for 2 years, which is crazy to say, which is really exciting. On to one of the reasons that we probably weren't really paying attention to Tellor's birthday. We had some issues with a dispute. So for those not paying attention, we actually had to upgrade the Tellor contract. So we're just kind of being really transparent here about what happened. If you guys saw a little over a week ago, we had some disputes on the BNB price. Somebody's Tellor miner went rogue, submitted a whole bunch of bad, well, we don't know if it was a Tellor miner. They probably weren't running the official version if they were the only people that did it. So they submitted bad values. This was one of the bigger miners in our system, so they ended up submitting 12 bad values before anybody caught them. It was all within a few minutes, or within an hour time. It was pretty quick, and they got disputed, which is great. Shows that the people are monitoring it and disputing it. It was not us that disputed them. They disputed it correctly, and then it goes to a 2-day long vote. So we actually missed the vote period, so nobody voted on a few of them. Like 8 of them, was it? So 8 of them got no votes, and then what happened was, if it got no votes, the vote failed. So it failed to slash the miner. This is no big deal, we said, because even the people who did the disputes didn't vote. We were expecting it to be sort of non-contentious, but nobody voted, which was an issue. So we reopened another round. So you can open up another round of voting on that same one. The problem, however, was whenever we opened up another round, a bug in the contract was discovered that he could still withdraw his mining stake and the dispute fees and unlock his things. Basically, it was a one line. We knew exactly where the bug was as soon as he knew what had happened. And yeah, it basically removed rounds from voting, which was a big deal. Anyway, so he got away with some dispute fees and got his stake back. So it's really uncomfortable. It was kind of failure on our part. That bug has been live for about a year. It's undergone multiple audits. It's passed through quite a bit of things, and somehow it still got through. That said, we quickly identified the problem, tested the fix, and we used the deity key, which I know you guys were planning on us throwing away. If we use the deity key to upgrade the contract and make the fix. We still plan, so basically throwing away the deity key got pushed back a week. So now we're going to do it this week. And it is a good thing. I mean, this was, if we didn't have the deity, it would have had to go to a week-long vote to fix it, which could have potentially led to some more exploits. It would have been really hard to exploit it. I don't think anyone would have necessarily tried, because you would have still had to vote against us. So you'd have still had to have a whole bunch of tokens at risk. Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, it is fixed now. Basically, nobody even noticed the fix. And everything seems to be working as planned. But that was kind of the postmortem on what happened there. Now we're kind of moving on to throwing away the deity key like we were planning on last week, not using it. And yeah, so we've had a few bugs in the system, and they happen. And I'm sure they're going to happen in the future. But we just
Yeah.
want to be careful, and we're identifying these things, and we'll be better for it, identifying these problems for Tellor Hats and for every other thing. So if you have any questions about it, definitely reach out and ask. If you were one of the affected parties, I think I'm talking to them all. But if you also were affected, let us know. Yeah, that should be it. Anybody else? Don't know if you want to say anything else on it, Mike.
No, I just think of that Lord of the Rings meme where he's like, "It is a gift." It's like anytime we have a bug that we come out relatively unscathed, it's scary to look back at, like, oh, you think of the worst case scenarios, but they didn't happen, and it's a really valuable learning lesson. And we've developed a really thick skin and a good process around sort of the post-mortem around these sort of bugs. And every time we've had one, we've gotten like significantly stronger as a team with our internal processes, and just we've become a more weathered team, and that's good for us because it just makes us stronger. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. And we know how pivotal this dispute mechanism is in our entire protocol, because it's what it's our biggest thing to make sure that our Oracle values are secure, and the dispute mechanism works fairly. And I think it's just going to be better now. So we're sort of grateful that we had this experience, and no one was really hurt by it. So
cool.
Gotta stay positive and keep moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on to other more exciting announcements. On the dev side, so Owen, our newest employee, he's rocking and rolling. We're making a new release on Tellor. Hopefully soon, once we figure out what's working. But the big reason we're doing it is we had a new TIP. We had mentioned it last week, the ETH JPY price, so we're adding that one. It'll be ID 59. We're planning on going live within a week, so it's at the 10th. So it'll be live on mainnet on the 10th. We'll be testing it on Rinkeby over the next week. So Spuddy, get prepared for that. Make sure everything works. Make sure everything's running properly. We kind of, so we have the current Tellor version. So for those of you that don't know, we have the current Tellor version, which is written in Golang. And whenever things move to Tellor X, a lot of Tellor is kind of unnecessary. And we want to make it a whole lot easier for everyone to run whenever it's just staking. So we'll probably be building it in Python. So, Tellor, the current Tellor version is, we're trying to get to a stable point that isn't going to break and isn't going to cause anyone any issues. And then we'll kind of start leaving it alone, except for adding hopefully some new request IDs. So that's kind of the current roadmap on Tellor. And then we'll be kind of moving into that piece. But watch out for new release. If you want to kind of give us feedback, help us build the newer one, let us know. Speaking of wanting to help us and develop with us, we're going to be moving over to Discord. We had just talked about it. This is going to be a fun thing. We're going to move all of our internal dev chats live on the Discord channel in developer. We're going to try and do it as much as possible. I know a lot of the dev chats kind of happen. Some of it goes on GitHub, some of it goes on Discord, some of it goes internal DMs. We just want to be more open and be more transparent, just because a lot of the issues about what we're working on, we know that you guys can solve, and you guys want to see what we're working on actually. So it'll be fun, and then we're going to make biz dev channels too, which I think we already have, but that way the biz dev people can share in the experience with us.
Yes, of course.
don't want to make you feel left out.
Yeah, like we have a separate chat. We have a couple of different chats that are more marketing focused, community focused, and business development focused. And I think there's plenty of you guys out there in the community that can contribute to the dev conversation, but also to the other conversations as well. So we want to include you guys.
Yes. And then I wanted to ask people, so there's 2 events coming up, ETH Atlanta and ETH Lisbon. Is anybody in our community, if you're watching this, are you guys going? If you're going, let us know. We're trying to figure out if we want to go. So hadn't really heard about them until this year. So
Yep.
we'll see if it's a good conference or not. If you guys can reach out. All right, Mike, any announcements on your side?
I mean, I was just going to say about ETH, we'll probably most likely have a presence at both ETH Lisbon and ETH Atlanta. Whether that's a sponsorship or not, we'll definitely try to be there. It's exciting that there's going to be in-person hackathons in the US again, hopefully, unless things get locked down again in October, which might happen, but we're staying positive about that. I think I mentioned last week about the Reimagine sponsorship we're doing. Just if I didn't, we booked 4 months with them to sponsor. They do the monthly conferences, so we're going to continue to do that for the next 4 months. And we're recording another panel to be filmed early next week, and we'll keep you posted on that. We're gonna most likely get the same group from the last panel together, but with a new topic. And we look forward to sharing that with you guys. And I think that's it.
Cool. And then, anyone have a hat to show off?
Let's see if this blurs.
We got hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got censorship resistant hats. And if you look on the back, it's got the nice old Tellor logo. If the dad hat look is your thing, let us know.
Yeah.
And actually, we're putting together an online shop for this, so we'll have a link soon. Ryan and I were just setting it up, where you guys will be able to actually make these purchases online through it's through Square or something like that. Online commerce is not our thing, but we're trying to make it easy for you guys to buy some swag from us. So stay tuned for that.
I swear, like, there has to be a way, like an easy way to sell this for TRB. Like, how many people have a coin and want to sell their merch? Like, that should be like a thing already. Like, buy our t-shirts with our coin. Like, I don't know why that's not a thing. Yeah, anyway. I feel like that wouldn't be hard to make a thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll get one of our.
This is the problem crypto should be solving.
Right. Like, listen, I have a coin that I print. I want to be able to buy my own merchandise with it. How can I do this? And then for each community, just set it up. Like, yeah, like, okay, so I'll put that on the bounty list. We're gonna help the space.
Yeah, it's sad that we have to use Square, but
yeah, exactly. Like, we have to use a giant whatever corporate behemoth payment processor to buy crypto merch.
Yeah,
like, this is ridiculous. Anyway, questions, Mike?
Yeah, we got a few. This one is, I've been looking for Tellor on my mobile app for Coinbase, and Tellor never shows up unless you search for it by typing it in. Even if it makes great gains, it should be on top of the list since it beats out other coins on Coinbase. Have you guys gotten in contact with Coinbase about this issue? I don't know if anybody else is aware of that. This is the first time I'm reading about it, and I saw it in chat earlier this morning. Yeah, I'll look into it to see if it's really an issue. See if I can figure out what you're referring to, and if there's something we need to reach out to them, we can. So I will.
This is because we didn't pay to advertise on Coinbase, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'll check it out. I don't trade TRB on Coinbase app, but I'll see if I can figure out what you're talking about.
I personally experienced this with looking at the Coinbase app on my cousin's phone. We were looking for TRB and we couldn't find it. And I had my Coinbase app on my phone, and I'm like, here it is, and she couldn't find it. So,
all right, well, we'll shoot them an email and see what we can do. Thanks for bringing that up. Next question. I have approved and migrated my TRB 3 months ago on my MetaMask, but now I'm having issues sending it to my other wallet for trade. Please help me.
I've helped this person. They're good.
They're good?
They're
okay.
good.
What was the issue?
That the old contract address was still in the wallet, so it was showing a balance of the old token, but the new tokens were like sold.
Yep. Cool. Since there have been other crypto coins that do burns, this is a great one for you, Nick. Will there be a chance Tellor will make the same moves other than burning 50% of the tips? What are your thoughts on token burns, Nick?
I mean, as long as you can build it in to actually mean something. So if you guys read, I put out a good article, or I think it's a good article. Let me know what you guys think. Soft currency tokenomics. It's a tokenomic article. It talks a little bit about burns and inflation and things like that. But, you know, just like burning half of the supply to pump your price is probably a pretty pointless thing to do, unless there's a really good reason. So yeah, I wouldn't say we're going to do anything like that. But you know, token burns in general, like you wanted to have a purpose in the system. To, you know, if it is driving value, that's okay, but it shouldn't be these arbitrary burn events, because usually you have to pick who you're burning it from. Like, you know, what was the coin? I think it was like Stellar, where, you know, they burned 50% of their supply in one event. And the obvious question that should come to everyone's mind is like, how did the team have control of 50% of the supply to burn it?
To burn them, yeah.
You know, like that should be a giant red flag in and of itself, that you can just burn the team can burn half of their supply and still be fine with the runway. There's probably a giant centralization risk there. So
yeah, and in our case, like,
yeah,
those coins will be burned. There's
right. You know, like, we're not burning our coins, you burn your
Yeah.
coins. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I mean, unless it's like built into a protocol, it's really hard to decide whose coins to burn. And usually, like, anytime people do this, it's all about, you know, like Binance burned their own coins of BNB, and it's always these central parties who burn their own coins to, you know, as some sort of press release, or see, we're going to pump the price. But in reality, like, you know, like with these centralized coins, if they have, you know, let's say they hold 50% of the supply. If they hold 50% of the supply and never sell it, or they hold, you know, 99% of the supply and never sell it, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it's more about the flows and how much things are actually changing. So
check out his article.
yeah.
And let us know what you think.
Cool.
Yeah, another plug for that article. It's a great article on tokenomics.
Yeah. Last question is, how can TRB become more competitive and recognizable than other oracles? Sean, you want to take this one? I've answered this one personally several times. Maybe you could add a different twist.
Yeah, and it goes along with like just the article, for example, that Nick wrote. Like, we want to plan out more content just talking about that topic, like the main differences between oracles, because that's really important. Other things, like we're working on some rebranding just to like make a fresh new look and identity for Tellor. That'll come soon. That'll be things like redesigned website, for example, like among other things. We'll do, you know, continue to do events and sponsorships, because that's where we, you know, talk a lot about Tellor and the differences. I think the biggest thing is we're just gearing up for the Tellor X launch, which in it of itself is like a really exciting evolution for oracles in the space. So those are some big things that we're pretty excited about.
Cool. Yeah, like, you know, we know that we're quite a unique oracle. There's such a big difference between how we do things and how the other oracles do things. And we're just, with Sean leading the charge, really ramping up to express that more clearly and more effectively and more often. And so we're really excited to start that. And that's it. That's the questions. Thank you guys for submitting them this week.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you guys next week. See?
Bye.